That's right, we're back in the noisy boat. Ah, it's so noisy. We're gonna head over to M's Emporium. This boat. Oh, look, it's a little boat. That's great. So yes, we are in Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful, I guess, countryside here of Pennsylvania. I've only really drove through Pennsylvania. I've never actually... Well, actually, no. I have stayed outside of Pittsburgh a couple of times, actually, now that I think about it. But never in a countryside like this. So let's go inside M's. Ooh, there. That must be M. Hi there. Live bait sold here.
Hey there. Welcome to M's Emporium. I'm Emily Griffin.
Hi there.
My name's Nancy Drew. I'm staying out at the old Malone place. You know, the house Sally McDonald bought.
Now, what's she doing inviting guests out to that old dump?
She's got a little problem she's hoping I can solve. But right now, I need a chainsaw.
A chainsaw?
A tree fell down in the driveway behind my car, and now I'm blocked in.
I'll get Tucker Davis to take care of it. Gotta warn you, though. Tucker tends to do things in his own sweet time.
No.
So how come Sally ain't with you?
She couldn't stand the thought of spending another night in that house.
I told her. I said, Sally, that old house is gonna be nothing but trouble. And sure enough, Malone's hounds have come back. Just when we all thought they were finally resting in peace.
Sure.
Have you ever seen the dogs?
Nope. Don't want to, neither. Just hearing them howl's bad enough. Scares the bejeebies out of me.
The bejeebies.
When was the last time they appeared?
Seems like they show up every time somebody buys the place. So the last time would have been 10, 15 years ago.
Well, isn't that a coincidence?
I caught a strange man prowling around last night. He called himself Red Knot.
The bird watcher. Comes in every so often to stock up on that weirdo food he eats. You know how them tree hugger types are.
No, actually I don't. How are the tree hugger types?
It seemed to me that he was more into watching birds than hugging trees.
Yeah, well, whatever. One thing's for sure. He's gonna wind up with a dose of buckshot in his hind end if he keeps tramping through people's yards making noises like he just popped out of a UFO.
True.
Mr. Knott did me a favor, and in return he asked me to pick up a cassette player from you.
Oh, yeah. I got it right here. Thought maybe the old coot had forgotten he left it here. What else can I do you for?
These so-called ghost dogs left very real paw prints. I saw some near the cemetery that's by the Malone house. Have you ever been there?
Can't say as I have. Poking around cemeteries ain't exactly a hobby with me.
Where do you find your... Achoo!
Bless you. It's all the dust. Sometimes I think it grows on this stuff.
Oh, no, I can't do dust. I'm allergic to dust. No, thank you.
Some of those old bottles are beautiful. Where'd you get them?
Found 'em. See, back in the days of Prohibition, that old Malone place used to be party central. Only way to get to and from back then was by boat. And when those boats dumped, on account of bad weather or bad driving or the feds suddenly showing up, well, everything from diamond necklaces to full bottles of illegal booze sank to the bottom of the lake.
So, it's finders keepers, huh?
That's right. See, recovering objects from the lake bed is illegal. According to Squeaky Wheel Acres, dragging the lake for artifacts was upsetting its delicate eco-balance. So thanks mostly to his constant squawking, the state banned it.
Okay, so she's clearly not an environmentalist.
Squeaky Wheel Acres?
Jeff Akers, local park ranger. I keep telling him all this stuff washed up on shore. But does that snobby little stickler for rules believe me?
Sounds like you aren't real fond of Ranger Acres.
Jeff Akers could take all his precious rules and regulations and take a flying leap. Now, I got nothing against getting more customers in here, mind you. But I kind of like Moon Lake the way it is. Small, quiet, out of the way. But Jeff Akers, why, there's nothing he'd like better than to see all the lake and all the property around it turned into one big, noisy, jam-packed state park.
Okay.
Why would he want that?
He's the type of guy who likes to boss people around, makes them feel important. So if the park got way bigger and was crawling with tourists, why, instead of giving out maybe one ticket for littering every 2 days, he'd be giving out 12 tickets every 2 hours. He'd be in heaven. Well, hey, I'm sure you got better things to do than getting your ear chewed off by yours truly.
No, you can keep chatting with me. I'm cool.
I need to buy something.
You want it? I got it. As long as you pay cash, that is.
Uh-oh.
That's just it. I'm running kind of low on cash. Would it be possible to start a line of credit?
My daddy always said, neither a borrower nor a lender be. But I'll tell you what, seeing as how you're a friend of Sally's, and seeing as how I got some things around here that could use doing, I guess we could work something out.
Oh.
What is it you need?
So Nancy's gonna be put to work again.
To make a long story short, I need some camouflage gear.
Got some right over here. One size fits all. But I'm running kind of low on bait. So if you go out and get me, say a dozen little critters, I'll give you the camos.
Okay, what kind of critters?
A dozen little critters?
Worms, spiders, beetles, grubs. Anything that wriggles on its belly'll do. Just look under stuff. Rocks, logs, dead leaves. Should be able to find 12 in no time.
Do I need some kind of permit?
Things ain't quite that bad around here. Least not yet. Now, if Jeff Akers' daddy was still around, you might get arrested for cruelty to animals or some such nonsense. Joe Akers used to be the deputy sheriff. Real critter lover, that one was.
Do you sell sandpaper by any chance?
I do, but Mr. Birdbrain was in last week and cleaned me out. Said he was tired of that observation platform of his giving him splinters in his hinter regions.
Think I could get some from him?
He's your only hope, but you better ask him for it quick. That deck of his is pretty big, and those squares I sold him are pretty small.
Okay.
Guess I'll see you later.
Always a pleasure.
You really think so? Alright, so we got some antiques in here. We got some Cocoa Kringle bars, which I can't get. Aw. What's over here? Live bait, 5 for $4.
Ew!
Oh, that was funny. I didn't expect Nancy's reaction. Okay, let's go back to our boat, and I guess we'll continue to explore the lake here. Once I figure out where the door is. Boat time. So, we've been there, obviously. We'll go over to the ranger station. I love that there's a little tiny speck of a boat. That's cool. Definitely gives you a sense of scale. And now we're at the ranger station. Ooh, this is pretty. That must be our ranger. Forest fire prevention. Use common sense. Don't let 1 minute of carelessness destroy what it took nature decades to create. Some people are very sensitive to poison ivy. Interesting. Hantavirus? A deer mouse has it? Wow. Never sweep an area inhabited by mice, as sweeping would stir up particles? Wow. Kind of makes me happy I'm a city boy. Like, I've never really thought about that. Gardaceus? Caused by a parasite that lives in intestines in people and animals. Ew! Ew! In untreated water. Lyme disease. Wow, these are all real things, aren't they? Huh. Like, I've been out into the wilderness, but I haven't necessarily lived out in the wilderness. So I guess I don't think that really counts as a wilderness kind of guy.
Hello, can I help you?
Sure.
Hi, my name's Nancy Drew. I'm visiting Sally McDonald. Are you the park ranger?
Park Ranger Jeff Akers, at your service. Let's see, Sally McDonald is the woman who bought the old Malone place.
That's right. Only she's gone back to Philadelphia. Malone's dogs got to her.
Don't tell me she believes all that ghost dog stuff.
Does that mean you don't?
There's always a logical explanation for everything. Whatever's out there, I'm sure they're no more and no less than exactly what they look and sound like. Dogs. Living, breathing, very noisy dogs.
He's like the male Nancy Drew. Pure logic.
Why do you think dogs would attack Sally's house?
Dogs can be trained to do almost anything.
Any idea what would make a dog's eyes glow yellow?
Something in their diet, maybe? Some oddball vitamin or protein.
As a park ranger, don't you want to know for sure what's behind these dog attacks?
Do you always ask this many questions?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I do.
As a matter of fact, I do.
I'm a very busy man, Miss Drew, but I am here to serve the public.
Yay, good. Then you're going to stand there and take all my questions.
Do you have something I could use to test the well water at Sally's?
Sure do. Simple to use, too. Just pump some water into this vial, return the sample to me, I'll send it off, and in a day or two, you'll find out whether or not your water's fit to drink.
Good, good, good.
Does everyone out here have a well?
Everyone who doesn't want to die of thirst does. Hooking up to a municipal water supply is out of the question. Too expensive.
This place isn't exactly your ordinary ranger station, is it?
It's also the Moon Lake Post Office, and it's the unofficial Moon Lake Museum of Factual and Natural History. I've lived here all my life, so I can't help but feel obligated to protect not only the area's flora and fauna, but also its past.
Which is apparently rather colorful.
As a member of the law enforcement community, I prefer to dwell on the positive aspects of history instead of on the activities of a bunch of glorified thugs.
Uh-huh. He's saying that, but I don't know if he believes it.
So you'd probably like to see the old Malone place torn down and forgotten.
Not necessarily. It's hard to ignore its potential as a tourist attraction. And if that's what it takes to draw more people to Moon Lake, I'm a reasonable man.
As an officer of the law, can you think of anyone who might want to scare Sally off her property?
The woman who owns the shop across the lake? Emily Griffin? I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure she's been dragging the lake in front of Malone's house for artifacts, which is illegal. It would be a lot easier for her to do her dirty work if nobody was living there.
That definitely sounds like a motive to me.
What do you know about the cemetery behind the Malone house?
People are buried there. Beyond that, what's to know?
Huh, okay.
Is Malone buried there?
That's the rumor.
Would it be okay if I looked around?
Please do. And if you have any questions, any more questions, just ask.
Ha ha ha, you're funny.
I've been trying to take pictures of birds for this guy named Red Knot. Ever met him?
Oh yes, the Birdman. I'd stay away from him if I were you.
Why? Is something wrong with him?
He's a fanatic. He's got it in his head that Moon Lake would be the best bird-watching venue in the world except for one thing. Too many people. Believe me, if there was a way to get this park shut down and all the homes on the lake torn down, he'd do it in an instant.
Okay, that definitely does sound like a fanatic.
Would you mind mailing this letter for me?
Not at all.
Thanks for all your help.
Not a problem. Oh, and one last thing. The deer mouse population has boomed this year, so please take precautions if you're cleaning out any area where they may have nested. They can carry some nasty diseases.
Yeah.
Thanks
I
for the
was
tip, Ranger Akers.
just reading about that. I think I'll attempt to steer clear of nasty diseases. Thank you very much. Ooh, neat. How old is this tree? Did you know that the growth rings in a tree indicate its age and the environmental conditions in which it grew? Huh. 1934, pine needle seedling. Aw. Broad, evenly spaced rings indicate healthy growth. Growth disparity occurs. Although the tree is growing straight again, narrow rings indicate competition for sunlight and nutrients from the other trees. A burn scar from a fire that quickly scorched the forest. This is cool. A prolonged drought in the area caused narrow growth rings. These narrow rings are the result of a sawfly insect infestation. Huh. There you go, a little bit of tree history. Ooh, computers over here too. Civilian Conservation Corps. A little bit of history here. History is cool. Passed the Emergency Conservation Work Act. It called for the establishment of a peacetime army of men who, stationed at various camps throughout the country, would undertake work projects that would save and revitalize the nation's forest. Huh. Interesting. By the end of 1935, this army, called the Civilian Conservation Corps, had been successfully mobilized and was hard at work. Wow, 500,000? Whew. That is a lot. That's cool. More good learnings. Moon Lake, Pennsylvania. Moon Lake School. Moon Lake Logging. Founder. Oh, cool. Town, which is nearby. Swimming. Okay. Random. Oh, look at that. That's a nice picture there. Moon Lake Community Review. Okay. I just, you know, when you play these Nancy games and just random...
I probably shouldn't
stuff.
mess around with this without Ranger Acres' permission.
Oh, oops. Nancy's used to kind of snoop around. Welcome. Health and safety tips. Water well. Look at all this stuff. Just like the attention to detail here. I have a lot of fun reading all this stuff. Priming a pump. Oh, we probably have to do this, don't we? We gotta pour water in it. Pour water in it to prime it, yeah, because... So, I teach fluid mechanics, and, well, we learn a lot about pumps and that. And some pumps are self-priming, which means you don't have to prime them, obviously. While others do require you to have some sort of priming mechanism. So that kind of makes sense to me. So there's lots more information about the deer mouse here. Poisonous plants, of course, you know, poison ivy is obviously the more common one. Poison oak, okay, yeah, cool. Cool, cool, so that's kind of neat to have that there. History of Moon Lake, wow, I could spend all day here. Famous residents. This is like the internet from 1990 or something. Well, I shouldn't say that. Probably more like the year 2000. Cool. Acquisition of land. Wow, there's a lot of detail in here. So I'm certainly not going to read this all out to you folks. But if necessary, we will come back to it. That's kind of neat that they have the Roman numeral system here. I assume we're going to need that for a puzzle. Probably a gravestone puzzle would be my guess. Jeff Akers. Wow, he actually has his own little bio in here. Or his dad's bio. Neato. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool stuff to kind of poke around in here, for sure. Park regulations, wow. Leash laws, boating, nature slideshow, aw. It's a deer. Falcon, ducks, squirrels. Ooh, see, this is what I like. I like the fall colors. Like, look at the yellows and the oranges and the reds mixed in with some green still there. It's nice. Okay, yeah, that is definitely a spectacular moon or sunset. Glowworm. Wow, I've never seen any of those ever in my entire life. I mean, I've seen the doll, glowworm doll, but never a real one. Alright, cool. Designed, compiled, and maintained by Park Ranger Jeff Akers. Wait, is that actually what his name is? Jeff? What was his dad's name now that I think about it?
You're back.
Yeah, I don't actually have
Thanks
anything
for
new
all
to
your help.
Always
say
a
goodbye.
pleasure.
Cool, cool. So Park Ranger is definitely kind of a neat fellow. What's this down here? I don't think I had a chance to look at this. Oh, we got some other artifacts here. So he fancies himself as a museum curator. And M's Emporium is taking basically artifacts out of the lake. So clearly there's some sort of competition there. Look at this, all the animals here. Dame's rocket, Buttercup. I assume we're gonna need that as well for our puzzle. What's in a name? Moon Lake is an apt moniker for this crescent-shaped freshwater lake. Oh, it is shaped like a moon. That's cool. Moon Lake State Park. Moon Lake Ranger Station. East Beach, West Beach. critters, birds. South area, private property. Closed to visitors. Interesting. We got hiking. We got boating. There's actually a conservation area that's about maybe 15 minutes from my house, where in the summer it's like kayaking and hiking and cycling through forests and stuff like that, and then in the wintertime it's a very it's not a very high ski hill, so it's basically, you can ski down it, but it's not really like a mountainous ski hill. It's more like a, I don't know. It's called the escarpment, which is kind of the edge of a prehistoric lake that kind of wraps around the outskirts of Lake Ontario. And because of that, it has some kind of hills, I guess you could call them. Alright, well, you know, I'm babbling here. I'm having fun. This game is, I don't know, like, I've played a lot of Nancy Drew games. You all know that, or at least most of you know that. Certainly if you've gotten to this point in the video, you're definitely enjoying me enjoying Nancy Drew games, and I appreciate that. So we'll see you in the next video.